You know, I'm glad that when the computer mouse was invented, it wasn't too big, because then they might have had to call it the computer rat. And that would have made this next story really creepy, because the mouse in it is crawling up your arm. Here's Adam Yamaguchi.
Okay, we all know what this is, but did you know that this is the newest version of the mouse? Only it's not called a mouse, it's called Myo, a device that reads the movements of your arm muscles and using Bluetooth technology transmits your gesture commands into action on your computer screen, gaming device, or presentation. 25-year-old Stephen Lake is the innovator responsible for moving this mouse from your hand up to your elbow. I traveled to Kitchener, Ontario, near Toronto, the Silicon Valley of Canada, to visit Stephen at his company, Thalmic Labs.
Welcome to Thalmic Labs. This is where we've created the Myo armband here. Under this one roof, we do all of the engineering behind Myo. So we build the sensors inside here that pick up your muscle activity. We design the manufacturing processes, the software, the applications, all of that. There's so many different parts that go into building a product like this.
So tell me a little bit about how this works.
So the Myo armband picks up the electrical activity from the muscles in your forearm. So when I have this band on here and I make a different gesture, my brain sends signals down my nerve, the nerve innervates that muscle, and each pod here on the armband is picking up the electrical signals from the muscles in that part of your arm as they're activated.
What are some of the basic and universal controls that you've developed into this?
So the basic gestures built into Myo from the muscle activity we see here would be making a fist, very simple, making a fist, opening your hand, spreading your fingers apart, waving to the right or to the left, or finally this unlock gesture we use of tapping your thumb to your pinky finger. The bottom graph there is called the pitch, so if I have my arm up and down, you're gonna see the sensors picking up that information. If I go kind of to the left or right here, we pick up what's called the yaw information, and finally the roll, the very top graph there. And you can see the virtual Myo on the screen, of course, rotating as well.
If you're a gamer, the Myo is a game changer because it's small and sleek, immersing you in your game without having to wear a bulky head device or finding the sweet spot in front of a sensor.
We often see new technology will kind of make its way into gaming first and then spread into other areas.
You can play any game that's integrated with Myo, allowing your movements and gestures to manipulate the game's controls. And if that wasn't enough...
No way, are we going to be flying this with the Myo?
Exactly, yeah. So I'm going to use the Myo to control the drone through the tablet here.
Wow.
It only takes a snap of your fingers to fire up a drone.
So when I wave out, it'll fly up. When I wave in, it'll fly down. I actually can grab control of it by making a fist and angling my fist in any direction. So if I roll my fist left, it'll bank left. If I pull my fist back, it'll bank backwards. If I drop my hand and don't make a fist, I can just have it hover. And when I snap my fingers,
You just landed it with a snap.
The Myo is in the final stages of development, but I use this prototype to test my skills flying the drone, which takes some practice and finesse.
Okay, how do I stop it?
But I eventually got the hang of it.
now wave in with your wrist. Let it go.
Wow. You guys keep going on with the show. I'm going to be playing here for a while.
Coming up, the wind on high, bringing power down to earth. That and vocabulary is next. One of the things Mother Nature has in her toolbox is wind, and she is fickle with it. Sometimes she likes to drop that wind low and pick it up slow. Other times she puts the wind high in the air like she just don't care. But now, no matter where she puts the wind, there's an innovation that can capture it. Mankind has been trying to harness wind power for centuries, using everything from sails on ships to windmill farms, to even that melon baller thingy you see spinning around. Now, innovator and MIT graduate Ben Glass has developed a buoyant airborne turbine, better known as the Bat. This turbine resembles a modern windmill, only it's surrounded by an inflatable shell that floats way up in the sky, capturing strong, high-altitude winds.
We all sort of have an intuitive understanding that the winds are stronger as you get up higher, whether it's from flying a kite or being on the top of a mountain or a tall building. As the winds get stronger, the power available in the wind goes up quite quickly.
Ben and his team at Alteros Energies had to figure out a way to put a big windmill high in the sky and keep it there. They researched the design of blimps and the weight load that they carry in the sky. They also realized the tether line used to keep the wind turbine from floating away could also transfer the power from the bat to a generator on the ground.
Core technology is what we call a helium-filled inflatable shell. It's basically a ring wing that surrounds the turbine. It's filled with helium, which provides buoyant lift. So even when there aren't any winds blowing, the system will basically just float up there like a balloon. A lot of the design has been on the aerodynamic aspects of the inflatable shell, which begins to act more like a kite rather than a balloon. It allows it to function aloft in high winds without getting blown down to the ground or becoming unstable.
The bat will hover up to 2,000 feet above ground on its own, automatically moving higher or lower to find the best winds. Floating wind turbines could help bring vital energy to the 300,000 remote communities around the world not connected to any type of power grid. But is the bat safe for airborne wildlife and humans buzzing around in airplanes?
The turbine is actually surrounded by this big inflatable structure. The birds can see it and avoid it, so they won't fly into the region with the blades, and that makes it a lot more friendly for birds and bats and other avian life. There are lighting requirements and visibility requirements, and there will be a transponder so that general aviation aircraft will know where it is.
The first commercial test is currently underway in Alaska, and the bat is getting lots of interest from developing nations. In the near future, you might see a floating wind turbine hovering over the shopping mall, keeping the lights on for that midnight sale. In a moment, remember that smart girl who always won the spelling bee? Well, she grew up to be Allie Ward, and she has vocabulary next.
Hey, welcome back. This is where I bring you vocabulary. Now, I'm pretty sure you're not sitting there with a dictionary looking up all the big words that we use on the show, so it's my job to look them up for you. And we call that vocabulary. Now, in Mo's story about the Henry Ford soybean lab, he said,
And even after he'd moved from farming to factories, Henry Ford kept a place in his heart for all things pastoral.
So pastoral is an adjective. It means of or relating to the countryside or to the lives of the people who live in the country. So in the story, it means you can take the boy out of the country, but you can't take the country out of the boy. And I'm not gonna sing for you because we tried that once. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. And it did not go well. Now, in Adam's story on the armband mouse, this was said.
My brain sends signals down my nerve, the nerve innervates that muscle, and each pod here on the armband is picking up the electrical signals from the muscles in that part of your arm as they're activated.
Now, innervate is a verb. It means to stimulate a nerve to activity. So that mouse is actually feeling the inside of your arm. And I'm not gonna lie, those words sound just a whisker creepy. Just a little bit. And that is your vocabulary for the week. I'm Allie Ward.